Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Thursday, the last day of July 2025. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. Let me just switch to the important and most important data releases over the 24 hours. And what do we have here? Japanese data, industrial production beats the expectations, retail sales beats the expectations, Australian data, building approvals beats the expectations, private sector credit beats the expectations, retail sales beats the expectations. Very nice bunch of data from Japan and Australia. Data from China, manufacturing PMI worse than expected and deteriorating lower, 49.3 only. Non-manufacturing PMI worse than expected and deteriorating lower to 50.1. Interest rate decision from Bank of Japan had been made overnight, and just as expected, Bank of Japan has held the interest rate at the level of 0.5%. Retail sales in Switzerland jumped from 0.3 to 3.8%. French CPI down from 0.4 to 0.2. We are still waiting for the German unemployment change and unemployment rate, scheduled for release at 5 to 10. At 10 o'clock, CPI data from Poland. And then at 11 o'clock, we got unemployment rate data from the Euro zone. During the US session, we got German CPI data scheduled for release at 2 o'clock, and then we got core PCE price index data from the US scheduled for release at 2:30, together with the employment cost index, PCE price index as well, and personal spending. Obviously, initial jobless claims are scheduled for release at the same time. GDP from the Canada is scheduled for release at 2:31, and then we got the data from the US in form of the Chicago PMI scheduled for release at 4:45. At the end of the day, at 10:30, we got Fed's balance sheet because it's the last day of the July 2025. So quite busy day, quite busy Asian session, quite busy London session. So without any further ado, let's switch to the chart. We start with euro dollar. Euro dollar is deteriorating, collapsing like no tomorrow. The market broke below all of the technical resistance levels that we got on the chart after the deal between the US and the European Union had been made. 1.1418 was the last technical support that was violated, local low 1.1401, and now the market is trying to bounce from the extremely oversold market conditions on a 4-hour time frame chart. It looks like there might be no continuation to the upside, because that's just a cosmetic bounce. So maybe it doesn't actually be that strong whatsoever. Now, the situation on the chart is quite interesting, as we are trying to bounce towards the level of 1.15 maybe. Nevertheless, there is still one more level here, which is very, very interesting. This level is obviously 1.1372. If we switch to daily time frame chart on euro dollar, we can see that the biggest correction here was minus 4.35. Now let's take a look how big is the current correction to the downside in terms of the price range. So from the top to the yesterday's low is minus 3.63. So this is still smaller than minus 4.39. So no overbalance of price and time had been made just yet. Moreover, on the daily time frame chart, the euro dollar has hit the level of 32. Almost extremely oversold market conditions has been met. So please pay attention to the 100 periods moving average, which is located right now at 1.1358, as this might act as the technical tool that is going to be used by the bulls to bounce even higher. So very important level here on the euro dollar. We got some data from the Japan, so let's take a look at the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. We start with the 4-hour time frame chart. Finally, we got the test of the 149.19. New high was made at 149.52, and the market moved back down. So let me just place our swing high line at 149.52. We are moving lower. Nevertheless, the outlook remains bullish. Momentum is strong. Momentum is positive. It came down from the level of 68. Nevertheless, it's still the bulls have the control over the market. It looks like the bulls really like it so far. I'm just trying to figure out where is the technical support. Obviously, it's somewhere around 148.03 and around 100 periods moving average at 147.67. Nevertheless, the outlook remains bullish on US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Now, cable is down. Cable down, everyone. Cable down. Down below the 133.70 after the rejection of this very important technical support. We went down towards 1.3227. Extremely oversold market conditions on a 4-hour time frame chart. Now, bulls are trying to bounce a little bit, do some kind of a bullish pullback. So we are going to mark this level as a swing low, but the market is clearly under the bearish control. We are below the key technical support. We are below the 100 periods moving average. Lower levels are expected. If we switch to daily, you can clearly see that this is the biggest correction to the downside in this upswing. And there is one more thing I would like to point out. Let's see how the Fibonacci works here. We are going to use the Fibonacci tool to see if there are any proportions in between those waves. Almost there, because the eventual next target for the bears are lower, and one of them is located at 1.3162. This is the black line, and the target for the bears, and just below this level there is kind of an interesting technical support and low from May 12, 2025, located at 1.3139. So that might be a target for the bears, and the bulls might be active when we hit this level. So the outlook remains slightly bearish, and then if we are done with this situation here, then we got free wave movement to the downside from the highs of 1.3787. We got the wave A, then the wave B, and wave C. Projected target for the wave C, including the 100% price projection of wave A from the top of the wave B, is obviously located here at 1.3162, and then the market might be ready to continue the uptrend. Right, so we got this situation here. We got some data from the yesterday's Fed. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. As you can see, the S&P 500 doesn't take prisoners. It trades up like no tomorrow. We dipped towards the level of 6,334, and then we bounce back up. So this is the current range. The market keeps doing the higher highs and the higher lows. So from the low of the July 13, if we, well, this line is not really this one is not helpful as well. Nevertheless, we can see this dips buying structure, and it looks like the market is still moving higher. So the outlook for the S&P 500 remains bullish as well. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. 4-hour time frame chart of the Bitcoin doesn't actually show us anything significant. Nevertheless, another dip towards the level of $115,700 was mostly bought back up, and then we got this bullish engulfing pattern back towards the 100 periods moving average, and now the market is trying to move even higher. So the current situation is that we are continuing this sideways trend, but the market is ready to basically break to the upside anytime now. So the Bitcoin market is ready to move higher. What is going on the Ethereum? So the Ethereum market is looking for another swing high, because we just broke above this old swing high. Now let me just place my line correctly. We are looking at 3,938 dips buying in progress. As you can see, bullish engulfing continuation, and the extension towards this level is highly welcome. So it looks like on the daily time frame chart, this market is still bullish as expected, because as you know, we are still making the wave 3 of the overall impulsive structure. The wave 3 has not been completed just yet. We are still waiting for the wave 3 to be completed, right? So we are still here. Let me just move this wave so we know what's going on. We are still in wave 3, and this wave 3 will continue towards the at least last swing high, which is 4,106, and then we will see, basically. All right, then we'll see. We can of course do some projections, because we've done it for the British pound. Let's do it for Elliott wave projection for the wave 3. So the target for the wave 3, there you go. This is the target for the wave 3. 4,562. This is the target for the wave 3 on a daily time frame chart for the Ethereum, right? And that would be a textbook example of the 161% extension of the wave 1 from the low of the from the lows of the wave 2. So this is why we still wait for the extension to the upside to continue, for the uptrend on the Ethereum to continue. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.